Pony's Life, a My Little Pony's Tales drama written by Prince Avalanche. Chapter 1. Interior, Ponyland Ice Cream Shop. Late morning. Bonbon and Sweetheart and Melody and Bright Eyes and Patch and Christmas Prince Avalanche and Space Pony is sitting at the counter waiting for Clover to join us before we order, and all 8 of us are talking about what happened yesterday at school. Prince Avalanche's body color is Christmassy red, and he has a very visible scar on the side of his left front cheek. He has a big gold star on his forehead. He is completely covered with gold stars, including his hooves and wings. He is completely covered with stardust, and he has tan mountain goat horns on his extraordinary, way beyond the maximum, extreme hard head. The part near his feathered, huge cloven hooves is orange and yellow, and his symbol is a black thundercloud with brilliant blue lightning all around it, and snowflakes falling from it, with scattered little gold stars around it. He has a gold mane, and the feathering on his feathered huge hooves is orange and yellow. He has white little stars that covers his cheek, and goes all the way across his muzzle to his other cheek. His tail color is white, with a Christmassy green stripe down the center of it, and gold tinsel, and he is an unrefined, wild, and untamed, and renegade mountain goats, because his parents are refined, wild, and untamed, and renegade mountain goats. He has blue eyes, and he is extraordinarily wise times infinity, and his silver and starry feathered cloven hooves click as he walks, much louder than all of the other ponies' hooves, and huge feathery cloven royal hooves are a family trait that runs in his family, because his family is all refined, wild, and untamed, and renegade royal gypsy vanners / mountain goats from the Misty Mountains. He controls the snow and ice, and he is royalty. Prince Avalanche can cause avalanches by thundering down the mountainside, and Prince Avalanche has a bright blue crown-shaped birthmark on the front of his his huge right front silver and starry feathery cloven hoof. It can't ever be covered by anything forever, and it is permanently visible. Prince Avalanche is 3,000 pounds, and he has 24 hands. His cloven feathery hooves are bigger than everyone else's hooves, and the color of his cloven hooves is silver and starry. He leaves hoof prints as he walks, and he is an refined, wild, and untamed, and renegade mountain goat. Melody is a 2,999 pounds and 23 hands gypsy vanner / mountain goat mix. She was supposed to be born a mountain goat, but she was born an earth pony, and she has all of the unicorn magic inside her, but she doesn't have mountain goat horns on her extraordinary, way beyond the maximum, extreme hard head. Hold on, just taking a short intermission here because I need to drink. Melody has intuition, like Prince Avalanche, and she has a bright blue crown-shaped birthmark on the front of her huge right front armored feathery cloven hoof. It can't ever be covered by anything forever, and it is permanently visible. Melody is royalty, like her dad, and her sisters Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, and her huge feathery cloven hooves click louder than everyone else's hooves. Her feathery cloven hooves are bigger than everyone else's hooves, and her symbol is a microphone with musical notes with a royal crown. Our hooves have evolved for our life in the Misty Mountains, and she is an unrefined, wild, and untamed, and renegade gypsy vanner mountain goat mix. Space Pony's symbol is the Panther of the Elements. He is a Pegasus, and his mane is fiery red. His body is blue. He has dark blue down near his hooves, and he has planets on his body and legs. He has blue eyes and sticky space sticky space dust, which sticks to the bottoms of hooves and makes them clip-clop super loudly forever. It won't ever come off the bottoms of hooves. Bonbon and Sweetheart and Melody and Bright Eyes and Patch and Space Pony and Starlight call upon the clear horseshoes. They appear on the bottoms of Bonbon and Sweetheart and Bright Eyes and Patch and Space Pony and Starlight's hooves, and they are made with the special alloy that magically sticks to hooves and they cannot break free, no matter what they do, in order to keep them on. Clear horseshoes. The pony doesn't step into anything. Everyone's horseshoes are made with the special alloy that magically sticks to hooves, and they cannot break free no matter what they do to keep them on. Prince Avalanche walks and acts very unrefined because he was taught that. Melody walks and acts very unrefined because she was taught that. His nickname is Thunderstorm. He can absorb the power of a thunderstorm, and it is limitless about the thunderstorm power he can absorb and store inside his body for future use. Prince Avalanche and Melody and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful were born in the Misty Mountains, and they were brought to the farm by their parents a few years ago. Prince Avalanche and Melody and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful are unrefined, wild, and untamed and renegade mountain goats. Melody is sitting beside her dad at the counter. They were both born on Christmas, and space dust can't stick to the bottoms of their huge feathery cloven hooves. None of the armored ponies can remove their armor. Prince Avalanche and his family is impossible to tame, and born and raised in the wild in a cave. Prince Avalanche and his family, including Melody and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, are extraordinary aggressive, way beyond the maximum extreme, and have a extraordinary, way beyond the maximum extreme short fuse. Patch turns to Prince Avalanche. She faces Prince Avalanche. Patch notes that Prince Avalanche is a lot taller than her, and Patch didn't want to be rude, because she has heard about their reputation. She notices his Christmas colors. Patch to Prince Avalanche, curious. What happened at school yesterday? Prince Avalanche turns to Patch. Prince Avalanche notices Patch looking at him. Prince Avalanche to Patch, concerned. She asked me a very strange question yesterday. Prince Avalanche to Patch, concerned, continued. She isn't acting like herself today. Patch and Prince Avalanche turn. They face straight ahead. Bright Eyes, I have noticed that also. Melody to Prince Avalanche, very curious. What was the question she asked you, Dad? Prince Avalanche to Melody. How would you kill yourself? Melody turns to Prince Avalanche. Melody just stares at Prince Avalanche and said nothing with her mouth wide open shocked. Starlight is standing at the counter in front of us. Melody lifts her huge cloven hoof and she places it under her chin. She pushes her mouth closed with her huge cloven hoof. Starlight is looking at Melody strangely. Starlight to Melody. You called him Dad. Melody turns to Starlight and faces Starlight. Melody to Starlight. He is my dad. Melody to Starlight continued. He is the reason that I was born in the Misty Mountains. Starlight stands there. Exterior Ponyland. Late morning. The sky is partly cloudy, and it is hot and humid. The temps are pushing 90 degrees, and it is an unusually hot day. The sun is shining through the clouds, and the clouds are building up. The clouds are starting to look ominous. Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful are walking down the sidewalk toward the ice cream shop. Their huge feathery cloven hooves make a clip-clop sound as they walk down the sidewalk, and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful is 2,999 pounds and 23 hands Royal Gypsy Vanners. They were supposed to be born as mountain goats, but they were born as earth ponies. They have all the unicorn magic inside of them, but they don't have mountain goat horns on their extraordinary, way beyond the maximum, extreme hard heads. Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful has intuition like Prince Avalanche and Melody, and they have a bright blue crown-shaped birthmark on the front of their huge right front feathery cloven hooves. It can't ever be covered by anything forever, and it is permanently visible. Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful is royalty, like her dad, and Melody, and they are refined, wild, and untamed and renegade. Their huge feathery cloven hooves click louder than everyone else's hooves. Their feathery cloven hooves are bigger than everyone else's hooves, and little did they know that today something that was going to happen that would change their lives and change everyone else's lives forever. They are minutes ahead of a storm that would make the news, and a TV is on in a store window. Stormy the Weather Pegasus comes onto the screen. They pause at the TV shop to see what is going on. Stormy the Weather Pegasus on TV says, "The Ponyland National Weather Service has issued a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch for all of Ponyland until 8 p.m. Ponyland Standard Time." Stormy the Weather Pegasus continued, "This is a particularly dangerous situation with the possibility of very damaging tornadoes and large hail." Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful look at each other. They can see real fear in each other's eyes. Tuneful, speaking to Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note, says, "This doesn't sound good." They walk down the sidewalk toward the ice cream shop while talking about the tornado watch that they just saw. They arrive at the ice cream shop. They pause. Half Note says to Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, "I hope our dad will let us join his band." Tuneful responds to Half Note, "So do I, because the rocking beats aren't so popular." Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful go inside. They look around the room, and they see all 8 of us sitting there at the table. They walk to the table. They get to the table. They pause, and then they bow in respect. They notice his Christmas colors and comment nicely on them. Sweet Note says to Prince Avalanche, "Greetings." And then she continues, "May we sit down, Your Highness?" Prince Avalanche says to Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, "Greetings." And then Prince Avalanche continues to Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, "Sure." Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful sit down beside Prince Avalanche. Pretty Beat turns to Prince Avalanche, and she faces Prince Avalanche. She can see the wild look in his eyes. Pretty Beat to Prince Avalanche, "May we join the Power Ponies, please?" I turn to Pretty Beat. I face Pretty Beat. Prince Avalanche to Pretty Beat, "Please, let me think about it." And then Prince Avalanche continues to Pretty Beat, "I will need to discuss this with the rest of my band." Prince Avalanche then turned to the Power Ponies. He faces them, and he says to the Power Ponies, "What do you think?" Bright Eyes responds to Prince Avalanche, "We could use some more members in the band." Patch responds to Prince Avalanche, "Let's take a vote on it if they join the band or not." Prince Avalanche says to Patch, "Good idea." Patch says to Prince Avalanche, "Thanks." Prince Avalanche says to Patch, "You are quite welcome." And Prince Avalanche says to the Power Ponies, "All in favor of Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful joining the Power Ponies, raise your hoof." All 3 of them raise their hooves. Prince Avalanche turns to Pretty Beat, and he faces Pretty Beat. Prince Avalanche to Pretty Beat, "Welcome to the Power Ponies." Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful to Prince Ravenous all say relieved, "Oh, thank you." Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful continue on to Prince Avalanche. "Should we call you Your Highness?" And Prince Avalanche continues to Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, "I am a prince, and Prince Avalanche will be the best." I notice a fearful look in Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful's eyes. Melody says to Pretty Beat proudly, "My real name is Princess Melody." Then she continues to Pretty Beat, "Everyone calls me Melody." And Pretty Beat to Melody says, proudly, "My real name is Princess Pretty Beat." And then she continues to Melody proudly, "Everyone calls me Pretty Beat." Tuneful says then to Melody, "All 5 of us are sisters forever." Patch and Sweetheart and Bright Eyes lower their hoofs. Prince Avalanche and Pretty Beat turn, and they look straight ahead. The Power Ponies cheer loudly. The windows in their ice cream shop rattle from our cheering. Space Pony sprays space dust from his front hooves in celebration. The space dust lands on the floor of the ice cream shop for a pony to walk through, and there is space dust all over the ice cream shop floor. Melody gets out of her chair. She stands up. She is standing in the space dust, but it doesn't fuse to the bottoms of her huge feathery cloven hooves. Melody walks to where Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful are sitting. Her hooves clip-clop louder than a normal pony's hooves, and she leaves huge permanent hoof prints as she walks. She gets there. She pauses. Melody, to Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful, curiously asks, "Why are you for quitting the rocking beats?" Tuneful turns to Melody. She faces Melody, and then she says to Melody, "We haven't had a concert in weeks, so I speak for all 4 of us that we quit the rocking beats forever." Clover walks down the sidewalk on the other side of the road. Starlight looks up. She sees Clover walking down the other side of the road toward the gun shop. Starlight says, "I see Clover." Sweetheart says to Starlight, "Where is Clover?" And then Starlight says to Sweetheart, worried, "Over there." Starlight points with her right hoof. Bonbon and Sweetheart and Melody and Bright Eyes and Patch and Prince Avalanche and Space Pony and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful turn around. They see Clover heading towards the Ponyland gun shop. And the wind begins to howl around her. Bonbon hears it, and her mane stands straight out in fright. Her mane settles back down. Exterior, Ponyland gun shop, late morning. Clover arrives at the Ponyland gun shop. Clover hesitates. She doesn't want to do this to herself, but she doesn't see any options, and she is very depressed. She is very suicidal, and she has tried killing herself more times than she can care to count, but every attempt has failed. She is determined to succeed this time because she has to, and Clover hears her name being called. The wind calls out, "Clover." Clover looks around to see who is calling her name, but she doesn't see anyone there. Clover looks over her shoulder at the ice cream shop. The camera follows Clover's gaze over to the ice cream shop across the road. She sees Bonbon and Sweetheart and Melody and Bright Eyes and Patch and Prince Avalanche and Space Pony and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful looking at her, but she doesn't care. Clover snorts in contempt. All 12 of us hear Clover snort in contempt. Bonbon asks Melody, curiously, Why did she do that to her friends? Melody says to Bonbon, I think she doesn't like us anymore. And Bonbon says to Melody, I think you are right. Clover turns. She faces the Ponyland gun shop door. Space Pony says to Starlight, what is she about to do? Starlight says to Space Pony, she's going into that gun shop for some reason. Clover raises her hoof. She starts walking. She pushes the Ponyland gun shop door open. The bell on the door rings. The pony behind the counter looks up, and he sees Clover. She goes into the gun shop. She pauses. She lowers her hoof to the side, and the door closes behind her. Interior, Ponyland gun shop, late morning. The gun shop pony says to Clover, may I help you? Clover walks up to the counter. Her hooves clip-clop on the tile floor of the gun shop. She stops. The gun shop pony can see that she is depressed. Clover to the gun shop pony, depressed. I need a small gun, please. The gun shop pony to Clover asks curiously, what is it for? And Clover says to the gun shop pony very rudely, none of your business. The gun shop pony knows he better not ask Clover any more questions. The gun shop pony opens the gun display under the countertop, and he reaches in. He gets a hold of a small gun and brings it out of the display case. He shows it to Clover, and the gun shop pony says to Clover, this gun will suit your need, whatever it might be. Clover says to the gun shop pony, depressed, I'll take it. The gun shop pony to Clover says, it will be 25 jangles. Clover reaches into her purse, and she gets hold of 25 jangles. She puts it on the counter. The gun shop pony says to Clover, here is your small gun. The gun shop pony hands Clover her small gun, watching her the whole time. Clover to the gun shop pony, depressed. Thank you! The gun shop pony to Clover, you're welcome. Clover takes the small gun in her hoof. She opens the chamber of the small gun. She loads the small gun with bullets. The small gun is completely loaded with bullets. She closes the chamber, and she puts it in her purse, and she turns, and she walks to the door. She pauses at the door, and I pause to drink. Clover then says to the gun shop pony, depressed, goodbye, forever. Sweetheart to Bright Eyes says, very concerned, she was where we couldn't see her. Sweetheart to Bright Eyes continues very concernedly, she is coming out of the gun shop. Clover exits the gun shop. The gun shop pony picks up the phone. He dials the ice cream shop. The phone rings at the ice cream shop, and Starlight hears it. Starlight runs on all fours up to the phone. She runs through the space dust on the floor. The space dust can't fuse to the bottoms of her hooves because of the clear horseshoes, and her hooves clip-clop normally on the tile floor. She gets to the phone. She pauses. She stands up on her hind legs. She answers the phone. Starlight on the phone. Ice cream shop? The gun pony says over the phone to Starlight, "I need to talk to someone, because it is an emergency." The gunshot pony continues to Starlight, "It is a matter of life or death for Clover." Exterior, the Ponyland gun shop. Early afternoon. Clover is standing outside on the Ponyland gun shop, waiting for the traffic to clear so she can cross the road. We cut back to interior at the Ponyland ice cream shop in early afternoon. If you recall, Starlight is talking to the gun shop pony on the phone. Starlight to the gun shop pony on the phone says, shocked, "She bought a small gun and loaded it with bullets?" And the gun shop pony says to Starlight on the phone, "She won't tell me what she wanted it for." And then the gun shop pony says over the phone to Starlight, "Bye." And Starlight says to the gun shop pony on the phone, "Bye." Starlight hangs up the phone, and Clover walks across the road to the ice cream shop. Clover enters the ice cream shop. Clover walks through the space dust on the floor. It permanently fuses to the bottoms of her hooves. It's not that permanent. Clover walks toward the counter. Her hooves clip-clop super loud on the tile floor. She gets there. She sits down on the stool facing the counter. Prince Avalanche can tell that she is very upset. Prince Avalanche tries to comfort Clover by putting his huge feathery cloven hoof on her shoulder, but Clover refuses to be comforted. Prince Avalanche takes his huge feathery cloven hoof off of Clover's shoulder. Bon Bon says to Clover curiously, "How are you feeling?" And Clover says to Bon Bon, depressed, "Very depressed." Clover is about to talk when Starlight cut her off. Starlight says to Clover, "Are you ready to order?" And Clover says to Starlight, depressed, "I guess so." And then continues depressedly, "I would like a vanilla milkshake, please." Bon Bon and Sweetheart and Melody and Bright Eyes and Patch and Prince Avalanche and Space Pony and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful turn around and face the counter. Prince Avalanche says to Starlight, "Vanilla milkshakes for everyone, including you, Starlight." And then he continues to Starlight, "My treat." Starlight turns, and she walks to the milkshake machine. Her hooves clip-clop normally on the tile floor. She fixes 12 milkshakes, and she puts them on a tray sitting nearby the milkshake machine. Starlight picks up this tray. Starlight, 12 milkshakes. She turns around. She walks to the counter carrying the tray of milkshakes. Her hooves clip-clop normally on the tile floor. She gets there, she stops, and she puts the tray down on the countertop. Melody says to Patch, "What is the name of your band?" Patch says to Melody, "The Power Ponies." All 12 of them reach for their milkshakes, and Clover says to Prince Avalanche, depressed, "Thank you for buying my milkshake." Prince Avalanche says to Clover, "You are welcome." Starlight notices a bright blue crown-shaped birthmark on the front of Prince Avalanche's right front huge feathered cloven hoof. Starlight says to Prince Avalanche, "What is that birthmark?" Starlight and then continues to Prince Avalanche, "Why is your hooves cloven?" And Prince Avalanche says to Starlight, "It's a royal birthmark." And then he continues to Starlight, "It gives me extraordinarily powerful grip to the maximum extreme." All 12 of them get their milkshakes, and they bring their milkshakes to them. Don't know how they got them. They drink their milkshakes. Starlight says to Prince Avalanche, "It would cost 22 jangles." He reaches into his pack. He gets a hold of 22 jangles, and he puts 22 jangles on the counter. And the sky outside is getting darker. Clover finishes her vanilla milkshake, Flora to everyone, I would like to announce a new item on the menu. And then she continues to everyone, Ponyberry muffins, only 4 jangles. Space Pony says to Clover, what is bothering you? Clover says depressedly to Space Pony, Teddy is constantly picking on me. Clover continues depressedly to Space Pony, what should I do? Space Pony says to Clover, if you want advice, go talk to Prince Avalanche. Clover thanks Space Pony. She gets up from her chair. Clover stands up. She walks to where Prince Avalanche is sitting. Her hooves clip-clop super loud on the tile floor. She gets there. She pauses. Clover turns to Prince Avalanche. Clover bows in respect to Prince Avalanche. Clover notices Prince Avalanche's Christmas-colored armor. Clover to Prince Avalanche says depressedly, hello. Prince Avalanche turns. He faces Clover. Prince Avalanche to Clover, aloha. Clover to Prince Avalanche, depressed. I need some advice. Prince Avalanche to Clover says, well, what is the problem? And Clover says to Prince Avalanche, depressed, Teddy is constantly picking on me. And then Clover continues depressedly to Prince Avalanche, what should I do? Prince Avalanche to Clover says, wisely, my advice to you is to stand up to Teddy. Clover to Prince Avalanche depressedly says, please tell me what to say. And Prince Avalanche says wisely to Clover, say hello first. And I drink. I think I'm going to run out of whiskey a lot earlier than I expected to. Clover wrote that down on a piece of paper. Clover to Prince Avalanche says depressedly, then what? Prince Avalanche says to Clover wisely, say, I'm sick and tired of you picking on me. Prince Avalanche says to Clover wisely and continued, please, tell him to back off. Clover feels some better after she talked to Prince Avalanche. And Clover to Prince Avalanche, feeling better, says, thank you for your advice. And Prince Avalanche says to Clover, you're very welcome. Clover moves over to the side. I gotta do something. Prince Avalanche calls upon a breeze to blow the space dust into the trash can, and a breeze comes up. It scoops up the space dust, and it puts it in the trash can. The breeze dies down, and the floor is completely clean. Starlight says to Prince Avalanche, thank you, Your Royal Highness. And Prince Avalanche says to Starlight, you're welcome. Ace walks into the ice cream shop, and Ace says to everyone in a loud voice, the Hunk Ace is here. And Starlight says to Ace annoyedly, why can't you just say hello? Ace walks up to the counter. Ace gets to the counter. He stops, and Ace says to Starlight proudly, I have to be me. Starlight rolls her eyes. Ace notices her reaction to what he said, and he says to Starlight curiously, what is the problem? And then Starlight says to Ace, annoyed, I have other things on my mind. And Bright Eye says to Ace, annoyed, there are more important things in the world than you. Ace looks at himself in the mirror, but he catches a glimpse of Prince Avalanche. Ace can see girls crowded around Prince Avalanche, and feels a very sharp jab of jealousy because Prince Avalanche is a lot more popular than Ace could ever dream to be. Ace gets control of his jealousy. Starlight says to everyone, "The ice cream shop will be closing early today." Patch says to Ace, teasing, "Don't look at yourself too hard or you'll fall in love with yourself." Ace turns from the mirror. He glares angrily at Patch. Patch laughs. Prince Avalanche knows that Clover needs a rainbow to cheer her up. So Prince Avalanche moves his huge feathered cloven hoof. A rainbow comes out of it for Clover, and it lands on the floor under her hooves. It is a sticky, bouncy rainbow, and Clover is standing on it. It sticks to her hoof bottoms, and the space dust is gone from the bottoms of her hooves. Clover steps off the rainbow. The part of these rainbows she was standing on went with her hooves and is permanently fused there. The rainbow disappears. Starlight says to Clover, "Did that help cheer you up?" Clover shakes her head no. Prince Avalanche gets out of his chair. He stands up, and Prince Avalanche creates a more beautiful rainbow. It lands under his hooves. It is a super sticky, bouncy rainbow, and Prince Avalanche is standing on it. It doesn't stick to the bottoms of his huge feathered cloven hooves. Prince Avalanche steps off the rainbow. All of his family is indestructible and invincible and unhurtable forever. And Prince Avalanche says to Clover, "Did that rainbow cheer you up now?" And Clover shakes her head no. The rainbow disappears after Clover saw it. Prince Avalanche sighs. And then Prince Avalanche says to Patch, "Come on, Patch. We need to set up for the concert." Patch turns her back on Ace. Ace jumps on Patch for that remark. I'm just going to pour the rest of this. Let's go. Patch and Ace are down on the floor, and everyone is watching them scuffle. Space Pony says to Patch and Ace, "You need to get set up for the farewell concert for Clover." Patch gets up off the floor. She brushes herself off. Patch says to Ace, "I have other things to do than scuffle with you." And Ace says to Patch, curious, "What is more important than me?" And Patch says to Ace, "Well, like, get the equipment set up for Clover's farewell concert because I'm part of the Power Ponies." Melody says to Sweetheart, "I have heard your music." And Melody continues to Sweetheart, "The Power Ponies are great." And Sweetheart blushes and says to Melody, "Thank you." Melody says to Sweetheart, "You're welcome." Ace walks to where Prince Avalanche is standing. He gets to Prince Avalanche. He stops. He bows in respect. He says to Prince Avalanche with controlled anger, "Hello." And then Prince Avalanche says to Ace, "Hello." And Ace says to Prince Avalanche with controlled anger, "What makes you so popular with the girl ponies?" And Prince Avalanche says to Ace, "My colors are so exotic." Prince Avalanche continues to Ace, "My feathered, huge cloven hooves really attract the girl ponies." Prince Avalanche can see anger growing in Ace's face. Prince Avalanche says to Ace in a warning voice, "If you throw the first punch, and it will hurt you more than me." Lancer walks in. Lancer sees Ace and Prince Avalanche standing face to face, and Lancer sees Prince Avalanche's Christmas-colored body. Ace draws back his hoof. Prince Avalanche sees what Ace is about to do. Prince Avalanche turns around, and he walks away from Ace. Prince Avalanche leaves stardust hoof prints behind, and Ace is too surprised by what Prince Avalanche did to react. And Flora says to Prince Avalanche, "Your band is more popular than the Rocking Beats." Prince Avalanche says to Flora, "You know, what can I say?" Ace gets over his surprise. Ace lowers his hoof to his side. Starlight says to Ace, "If you're going to act this way, you can go home." Ace turns to the counter. He faces Starlight, and he says to Starlight in a haughty voice, "I wouldn't stay here even for a million jangles with you common ponies." All of the ponies in the ice cream shop heard his comment. Melody walks over to Ace, and she gets to him. Ace can see the look in Melody's face. It is a look of pure anger and hatred towards him. She stops. Ace laughs nervously. He realizes that he really put his hoof in it with that comment, and he can't take it back because the damage has been done. Melody slaps Ace across the face with her huge coven hoof. Lancer winces when Melody slaps Ace. It really hurt, and there's a hoof print on the side of his face from her hoof. Ace tries to blink away his tears, and Patch says to Melody, "Ace deserved that." And Melody says to Patch, "He had the nerve to call us common ponies." Ace gallops towards the door. He goes out it. And Clover says to Prince Avalanche, "I'm fine." And Clover says to Prince Avalanche, continued, "Thank you for being there for me." And Prince Avalanche says to Clover, unconvinced, "You're welcome?" Melody and Prince Avalanche wants to believe the suicidal crisis has passed, but intuition is telling them otherwise, that the crisis is about to get even worse than before. And Lancer says to Bright Eyes, "What happened?" And Bright Eyes says to Lancer, "Clover was very suicidal." And Bright Eyes says to Lancer and continues, "But that crisis has passed." And Starlight asks Flora, "What time is the ice cream shop going to close today?" If you remember from several minutes ago, she said the ice cream shop was closing early. Flora says to Starlight, "In a few minutes." Prince Avalanche says to the Power Ponies, "Come on, Power Ponies, let's get set up for the concert." All of the Power Ponies, including Half Note and Sweet Note and Tuneful, turns. They walk toward the door. And I drink. Prince Avalanche leaves huge stardust hoof prints on the floor. And his huge, feathery, silver and starry cloven hooves click very loudly on the tile floor. The ice cream shop is almost deserted. But Lancer and Starlight and Melody and Bonbon and Clover and Space Pony are there. Exterior, Ponyland ice cream shop. Early afternoon. Ace is standing outside, trying to blink away his tears, but they are coming too fast, and where Melody slapped him is still hurting. Ace gallops halfway down the sidewalk in the opposite direction. He pauses. The pain becomes a dull ache, and the pain finally goes away. His vision becomes very blurry, and he can't see clearly. He looks down at the sidewalk. If you look through Ace's eyes, everything is so blurry that you can't even tell what everything is. Ace closes his eyes, hoping when he opens them, his vision will be clear. Ace opens his eyes. His vision is blurrier than ever, and he is unable to tell shapes apart, except for food. Food is okay. Ace feels this way to the curve because his vision is too blurry. He almost falls off the curve because he took too big of a step. That's not me being drunk, by the way. It does actually say curve. Ace regains his balance. Ace, really upset. What did I do to deserve this? Ace gallops back to the ice cream shop, but Ace can't tell where he is because his vision is so blurry. So he turns down the wrong road, but it is a dead-end road. He gallops down it. He is unaware of the brick wall at the end of the road, and he runs into the brick wall. The impact knocks him backwards, and he finds himself laying on the hard, unforgiving road on his back. Ace groans. He slips off into unconsciousness, vaguely aware of his surroundings, but his groan was loud enough to attract attention to him. The Power Ponies gallop down toward Pony Hall to get their equipment set up for Clover's farewell concert, unknowing about what happened to Ace. Prince Avalanche leaves huge, permanent stardust hoof prints on the road, and his huge feathered cloven hooves click very loudly on the road. Interior, concert hall stage, early afternoon. Sugar and Peaches and Sparkles are already at the concert hall, and they have already set up their instruments. They are practicing, unaware of the approaching storm. Sugar dances on the stage while she is playing the saxophone. Her hooves are making a loud clip-clop on the wooden stage, drowning out the music, and Sugar realizes how much noise she is making with her hooves. She stands still on the stage floor. Exterior Ponyland Park. Early afternoon. The Power Ponies is galloping towards the concert hall, and Prince Avalanche is flying. The wind picks up, and all 9 of us can feel the wind on our faces. Weird music starts playing, and all 8 of us hear it. The wind is blowing in our manes. Bright Eyes says to Sweetheart, all ponies know, when they hear that music, there is danger coming. All 9 of us gallop and fly even faster. The weird music is getting faster, and all 9 of us are getting closer to the park. A trash can blows over, and it rolls down the sidewalk towards all 9 of us. Prince Avalanche is up in the air, so the trash can can't roll over him. And Sweetheart sees it rolling towards us 9. The trash can is approaching fast. Prince Avalanche says to the Power Ponies, "Be ready to jump the trash can." Power Ponies are watching the trash can approach. It approaches the Power Ponies, and the wind changes direction. The trash can blows across the road. Patch says, "Oh, pony feathers!" All 9 of us pause. All 9 of us watch where the trash can goes. Logan is walking down the sidewalk past an alley. Patch sees the trash can, headed right for Logan. Patch to Logan shouting, "Watch out!" Logan hears her, so he stops. The trash can goes into the alley, and it rolls down the alley. It reaches the end of the trash can, of the alley. Not the trash can, it is the trash can. It reaches the end of the alley, and it smashes into the brick wall at the end of the alley. The trash can all dented up, so it won't roll anymore. Logan turns. He faces the Power Ponies, and Logan says to the Power Ponies, "Hello." And I drink. And Bright Eyed says to Logan, "Greetings." And Logan says to Patch, "Thank you for saving my life." And Patch says to Logan, "You're welcome." And Halfnut says to Logan impatient, "We need to get set up for Clover's farewell concert." And Halfnote says to Logan continued, "I hope you will be there, like everyone else." And Logan says to Halfnote, "I will be there." And he says to the Power Ponies, "Bye." And Logan walks on down the sidewalk. Off in the distance, all 8 of us can hear a weird sound, like a train going up a long hill, and hail and a heavy rain starts falling. The lightning flashed through the green clouds like a massive orange river of fire, and I knew all of us are in danger. All 8 of us are still a good ways from the concert hall. All 8 of us start galloping and flying. And Sweetheart says anxiously, "We'll never make it before the storm hits." All 8 of us can feel a tingling sensation in our legs, and our manes stand up straight. And Half Note notices our manes standing up straight. And Half Note says to Prince Avalanche, frightened, "What is causing our manes to stand up like this?" And then Prince Avalanche says to Half Note, "That means lightning is going to strike us." Scroll down. Prince Avalanche says to Half Note continually, "All 8 of us need to find shelter. Fast." Tuneful spots a sturdy building to the right of all 8 of us and says, "There is some shelter." All 8 of us head for the shelter, and Prince Avalanche lands on the ground. Prince Avalanche is leaving his huge permanent hoof prints behind him as he gallops. All 8 of us arrive at the shelter, and all 8 of us pause. Prince Avalanche tries the door. It opens with a skin-crawling creak, and we hear 4 pairs of clip-clops behind us. So that's obviously 2 ponies. Sweet Note turns around. She sees 2 freckle-faced earth ponies coming towards us 9. Applejack and Bowtie gets to us 9. They pause. Applejack says to Prince Avalanche, "Greetings." "Greetings, fella Freckleface." Prince Avalanche turns around. He sees Applejack and Bowtie standing there. And Prince Avalanche says to Applejack and Bowtie, "Greetings." Prince Avalanche turns around. He faces straight ahead. Prince Avalanche says, "Everyone inside. Quick." All 10 of us gallop and fly inside. I guess one of us just stays outside to get hit by lightning, whatever. Because, 9 plus 2. Prince Avalanche closes the door behind them. A bolt of lightning streaks from the clouds, and it hits the ground right in front of the door with a resounding boom. The windows vibrate from the sound, and all 11 of us are safe now. Prince Avalanche absorbs the power of the storm, and now it is stored inside him. Applejack and Bowtie are wearing their clear horseshoes that is made of the special alloy that magically sticks to hooves, and they cannot break free no matter what they do to keep them on, to prevent sticky stuff from sticking to the bottoms of their hooves forever. Applejack nuzzles Prince Avalanche lovingly, and Prince Avalanche returns the nuzzle. Applejack notices that she has huge feathered cloven hooves, and the hair covers her whole cloven hoof, but it isn't long enough for her to step on, and all 10 of us can hear the hail hitting the roof. But suddenly, it got dead quiet and still. Tuneful says to Half Note uneasily, "It is just too quiet out there." And Prince Avalanche says to everyone, "Let's go, while it is so quiet and still." Prince Avalanche opens the door, and he sticks his head out. He looks around and says, "It's safe." Prince Avalanche takes to the air. There is huge, permanent cloven hoof prints on the floor where he stood. Everyone gallops and flies out the open door, and everyone heads for the concert hall. But Applejack steps in a wad of sticky bubble gum. It doesn't stick to her hoof at all, though, and all 10 of us arrive at the concert hall. All 10 of us stop, and Tuneful looks up at the sky. She notices the strange color of the sky, but she doesn't pay any attention to it, and the sky is green, like Applejack's eyes. Prince Avalanche has a very bad feeling about the weather, but he's just too excited about the concert to worry. So Prince Avalanche says to the Power Ponies and Applejack and Bowtie, my intuition tells me that there is danger coming in our direction. And Prince Avalanche says to the Power Ponies and Applejack and Bowtie, continued, everyone inside, fast. Prince Avalanche pushes the door open with his huge feathered cloven hoof. The door stays open. He puts his huge feathered cloven hoof back down on the ground. All 10 of us gallop and fly inside. The door closes behind us. Prince Avalanche lands on the floor. His huge feathered cloven hooves make huge permanent hoof prints in the carpet. And spooky music plays. Interior, Ponyland Concert Hall, late afternoon. All 10 of us gallop down the hallway toward the Power Ponies are going to perform. And that's not me, that's actually the sentence. Prince Avalanche leaves huge permanent hoof prints on the floor, and the door blows shut, and he hears his name being called. Prince Avalanche calls upon the white horseshoes with musical notes on them for the other Power Ponies, that is made of the special alloy that magically sticks to hooves, and they cannot break free no matter what they do to keep them on. Bright Eyes asks Prince Avalanche curiously, what are these supposed to do? And Prince Avalanche says to Bright Eyes, these will help us create music. And Bright Eyes says to Prince Avalanche, interesting. And then Glory says, Prince Avalanche. Prince Avalanche turns his head. Prince Avalanche looks over his shoulder. He sees Glory skating towards us. Patch and Sweetheart, Ace, and Bright Eyes, and Half Note, and Pretty Beat, and Sweet Note, and Tuneful pause, and Applejack and Bowtie pause also. All 10 of them look over their shoulders, and all 10 of them see Glory. Glory stops skating. Patch turns to Princess Avalanche, and she faces Prince Avalanche. And Patch says to Prince Avalanche curiously, who is that little pony? And Patch says to Prince Avalanche curiously, who is that little pony? I read that twice, that's on me. And Prince Avalanche says to Patch, that is Glory. Prince Avalanche continues to Patch, she is a friend of mine that I met on my travels, and all 10 of us hear clip-clops coming down the hall. And Patch turns her head and looks straight ahead. All of the Earth Ponies, with the exception of Applejack and Bowtie, because they're already here, and the Unicorns and Pegasi come into the concert hall. All 10 of them sees all of the Earth Ponies and Unicorns and Pegasi. And Prince Avalanche introduces everyone to Patch and Sweetheart and Bright Eyes and Half Note and Pretty Beat and Sweet Note and Tuneful. And Firefly says, I'm gonna do my double inside-outside loop. And Medley worriedly says to Firefly, but Firefly, it's too dangerous, Firefly. And Firefly says to Melody, no, this isn't Melody, this is Medley. Firefly says to Medley unconcernedly, danger is my life, Medley. And Firefly calls upon the white horseshoes. They appear on the bottoms of her hooves. And Firefly goes to the end of the hall. And she gets to the end of the hallway. And she pauses. And so do I, because I need a drink. And she turns around. And Prince Avalanche says to everyone, watch out. Everyone ducks, and Firefly comes zooming down the hallway. She does her double inside-outside loop, and she zooms over everyone's head. Everyone's mane and tail blows in the wind from her passage, and Firefly sees an extra-large pair of unlimited times ultra mega sticky times infinity flypaper in front of her on a wall, and she is approaching that wall way too fast, and she tries to stop, but she is still going too fast. She turns around with her back facing the flypaper, but she still collides with the flypaper. It sticks unlimited times ultra mega tight times infinity to her. And Twilight says concernedly to Firefly, "Are you okay, Firefly?" And Firefly says to Twilight, "I'm okay." And Truelight says to Firefly, "Bossy, get off that." And Firefly tries to get off, but she can't get off. And Firefly says annoyedly to Trudy, to Truly, "I can't, because I'm stuck firmly to it." Patch moves in between Truly and Firefly to keep Truly from hurting Firefly. For all, Firefly can't hurt anybody. She got herself fucking stuck to flypaper. Prince Avalanche, to the Power Ponies, says, "Let's get set up for Clover's farewell concert." Glory takes off her roller skates. The Power Ponies gallop down the hallway where they're going to give that concert to Clover. Prince Avalanche is leaving his huge permanent hoof prints in the carpet. Firefly struggles to get free. The flypaper is sticking even tighter to her back and mane and head and hind legs. It truly is getting mad at Firefly. Applejack says with a giggle, "Applesauce, anyone?" Everyone giggles, relieving the tension. Don't worry, the tension's relieved, guys. Okay, the tension's relieved. And Applejack hears a clip-clop sound coming from down the hall. Applejack turns to face the source of the noise. Oh my god, okay, this is... Applejack sees a 4-year-old human pony boy coming towards them, and Firefly sees him also. He is completely dressed in real Pegasi pony gear, complete with hoof boots and etc. That's not me just abbreviating. It actually says hoof boots and etc. Okay, I need you to understand this. With Firefly's symbol on the hip of his pony gear. Her symbol is 2 blue lightning bolts, and Firefly owns him forever. She makes all of the decisions for him forever, and he has pony thoughts and instinct, and etc. forever. Pegasi Pony Gear Max gets to them. He stops. Fizzy calls upon the white horseshoes. They appear on the bottom of her hooves. Firefly says to Fizzy, "Please, blow some bubbles against this flypaper to free me." Fizzy blows some unicorn bubbles against the flypaper. Firefly can feel the flypaper letting go of her. Firefly drops to the floor. She lands on her hooves. She bounces when she lands on the floor and kept on bouncing. Fizzy stops making bubbles with her unicorn horn. Firefly says to Fizzy, "Thank you." And Fizzy says to Firefly enthusiastically, "You're welcome." Fizzy becomes so hyper she starts jumping up and down. She starts bouncing because of the white horseshoes on the bottoms of her hooves, and she bounces all over the place. Bubbles looks scared half to death by all the noise Fizzy is making. Fizzy tries to stop, but she discovers she can't stop bouncing. Galaxy lowers her horn at the flypaper. She can sense the flypaper has become magical. I need another drink here, hold on. And Applejack says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max, "Fuck." Hello, Pegasi Pony Gear Max says to Applejack. Hi. And Applejack says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max, I'm Applejack. Pegasi Pony Gear Max says to Applejack, I'm Pegasi Pony Gear Max. And Applejack introduces everyone to Pegasi Pony Gear Max. And Glory runs down the hall after Prince Avalanche, and Glory catches up with us. And Ember says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max, where did you get that? And Pegasi Pony Gear Max says to Ember, Firefly got it for me. The Power Ponies gets to the room where they are going to give the concert. They pause. Glory to Prince Avalanche lovingly says, will all of us get to see the concert? And Prince Avalanche says lovingly to Glory, yes, all of you will. And Galaxy can sense a door behind that flypaper. Shady stands up. She puts her front hooves on the flypaper to move it over to the side. The flypaper sticks unlimited times, ultra mega tightly times infinity to the bottom of her hooves because she didn't have the clear horseshoes on the bottoms of her hooves. Pegasi Pony Gear Max checks his rump. Applejack's to Pegasi Pony Gear Max curiously says, what are you doing? It's a really good fucking question, Applejack. I need a drink. Pegasi Pony Gear Max says to Applejack, I'm seeing if I have a ponytail. He has a permanent ponytail and a permanently tied bow at the base of his ponytail right next to his rump. Shady tries to pull her hooves off the flypaper, but the flypaper comes out with them. She puts her rear hooves against the flypaper to hold it still. The flypaper sticks unlimited times ultra mega tightly times infinity to the bottom of her rear hooves because she didn't have the clear horseshoes on the bottoms of her hooves. Firefly looks at Pegasi Pony Gear Max's hands. She sees Pink's hooves on him, and she recognizes the Pegasi Pony Gear on him because she bought it for him. She made him put it on right then, and it's a permanent part of him. I need a drink. Hold on a second. Let me compose myself here. Gotta compose. And Firefly says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max, look at your hands. Pegasi Pony Gear Max looks at his hands, and he sees Pink's hooves, and Gusty sees them also. Gusty says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max, nice hooves. And Pegasi Pony Gear Max says to Gusty, thanks. Alright, I'm gonna cool this. I'm gonna compose myself here, and I'm gonna continue the story. Just give me a minute. It's so hard. This is really hard. Okay, guys, you don't understand. Right. Pegasi Pony Gear Max compares his symbols with Firefly. His symbol matches hers. Pegasi Pony Gear Max pulls hard to remove his Pegasus Pony Gear. Oh no, I lost my chat. Where's my chat? No, chat, I can't click. Okay, we're gonna just deal with it. We're just gonna go for it. Alright. It is still on him. And Firefly says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max. No one can remove this Pegasi Pony Gear from you forever, because it is completely fused to you for the rest of your life. And Firefly says to Pegasi Pony Gear Max, continued, you might as well forget trying to cut his Pegasi Pony Gear off, because it is indestructible. The Pegasi wings have sprouted nerves, and they deeply integrated with his spinal cord forever so he can control his Pegasus wings. His Pegasus wings also sprouted blood vessels, and they deeply integrated with his other blood vessels forever. All of us hear low menacing chanting coming from somewhere in the concert hall. Applejack moves closer to Prince Avalanche in fear. All of the baby ponies, including Ember, take off down the hallway, screaming. All of the ponies and Pegasi and unicorns, except the power ponies. Okay. Except the power ponies call on their normal horseshoes, and the clear and white horseshoes disappear off their hooves. Their normal horseshoes appear on the bottom of their hooves. Shady calls on the clear horseshoes. The clear horseshoes appear on the bottoms of Shady's hooves, and her hooves come off the flypaper. She lands on the floor, and Shady calls on her normal horseshoes. The clear horseshoes disappear off of her hooves, and her normal horseshoes appear on the bottoms of her hooves. Everyone is standing on an inescapable magic path, and everyone is stuck to it forever, but able to walk on it, but not step off, including Prince Avalanche. Baby Cuddle smells candy, and all the other baby ponies and baby Pegasus and baby unicorns and Ember. All of the baby ponies and baby Pegasus and baby unicorns and Ember follow the candy smell, and Baby Cuddles lifts her rear hind hoof. The path comes up with her hoof and pulls it back down. Baby Cuddle says, "I not get off." And that's actually a pretty fucking horrible statement. God damn it. Baby Glory says to Baby Cuddles, "I try." And Baby Glory lifts her rear hind hoof. The path comes up with her hoof and pulls it back down. Baby Glory, "I stuck." And Ember, "All of us are stuck." All of the ponies lift their hooves. The path pulls them down. Moon Dancer tries to wink off. She discovers that she can't wink off of it. I feel like I need to explain this because I think it actually comes up a few more times. Winking is a thing from the original My Little Pony, like from fucking Generation 1, where they can essentially teleport, but they cannot teleport through anything they could not walk through, or across anything they could not, like, jump across. That's essentially it, okay? So that's what they mean when they say wink. I just wanted to make sure everybody actually understands what the fuck this guy is saying. Alright. Everyone is stuck for good, including Prince Avalanche, because it's stuck to his feathered armored cloven hooves, and baby ponies and Ember are standing on orange horseshoes. Ember and all of the other baby ponies become armored gypsy vanners forever, and their armor is irremovable and magic-proof forever. Nothing can remove their armor that completely covers them for good, and they are able to move in their armor and etc. Their armor will grow with them, and the armor is indestructible and impenetrable forever. It can't be wished off, and it covers their hooves also. All of the baby ponies, including Ember, look down at their forelegs and hooves. They see feathered armor on their hooves and legs, and they weigh 150 pounds each. Yeah, somebody's mentioning in the chat for the stream that this came out before the MLP reboot. Yes, this is actually 2 generations previous to the current My Little Pony generation. This is generation 2. This is My Little Pony Tales. So, just so we know, this is old. It's great. Okay. And Ember says happily, "We're too heavy to be picked up now." An interior of the Ponyland ice cream shop in the late afternoon. So we're cutting back to the ice cream shop. Starlight is standing behind the ice cream counter, waiting for someone to order something, and Flora is in the storeroom. Teddy walks into the ice cream shop. Remember Teddy? We mentioned Teddy about, like, a fucking hour ago? He was the guy picking on Clover, who wants to kill herself, and now also they're having a farewell concert for Clover, because she wants to kill herself, because Teddy was picking on her. So that's where we are in the story, okay? That's where we are. And he is carrying a can of super strong glue in his hoof. And he's wearing the black with those, like, red circles with a line through it horseshoes that Prince Avalanche called up for him to put an end to his bullying forever. They have this special alloy that magically sticks to his hoofs, and he cannot break free no matter what he does. You know, to keep them on. Clover reaches into her backpack, and she gets a hold of a piece of paper. She brings it out of her backpack, and Melody says to Clover, curiously, "What are you doing?" And Clover says to Melody, depressed, "I'm going to write." And Clover reaches into her backpack. She gets a hold of her pencil, and she brings it out of her backpack. And she lays the piece of paper on the table, and Flora says to Starlight from the storeroom, "Starlight." And Starlight turns around. She faces the storeroom, and she says to Flora, "Yes, Mom?" And Flora says to Starlight, "Please sweep the ice cream shop floor." And Starlight says to Florida, not to Florida, Starlight says to Flora, I dropped my headset. Starlight says to Flora, "The floor is already clean." Yep. Starlight calls on her normal horseshoes. The clear horseshoes disappear, and her normal horseshoes appear on her hooves. And Clover writes, by the time... by the time you read this, I will be in heaven, and it's better this way. Signed, Clover. She puts her pencil down on the table, and Flora says to Starlight from the storeroom, "Please come and help me in the storeroom, Starlight." Clover decides to wait until after the concert to commit suicide because she has to be there. Starlight turns, and she walks towards the storeroom. Teddy is watching her to make sure she goes into the storeroom before he pours the glue on the floor behind the counter, and her hooves clip-clop on the tile floor. Starlight gets in the storeroom door. She pauses to look at the clock on the wall, and I pause for a moment as well. Give me just a minute here. Alright, I just had to make a little update. A little update here. Alright, so where do we leave? Poured the glue on the floor. Let me see, Clover already wrote that. Okay, and Starlight says, a few minutes before closing time, she walks into the storeroom, and she pauses, and she pushes the door open with her hoof. And Starlight gallops inside. Melody can sense that Teddy is up to something. And Melody says to Teddy, "What are you up to?" And Teddy says to Melody, "Nothing." And Teddy walks around looking for something to pry those horseshoes off of his hooves. And Teddy spots a wrecking bar over in the corner. He walks over to it, and his horseshoes clip-clop on the tile floor. And he gets to the wrecking bar, and he says to Teddy, "What are you doing?" And Teddy pauses. He turns around, and Teddy faces Lancer, and Teddy says to Lancer, "I'm gonna pry these horseshoes off." And Lancer says to Teddy, surprised, "Why?" And Teddy says to Lancer, annoyed, "These horseshoes are annoying." And Teddy turns back to the wrecking bar, and he picks up the wrecking bar, and he bends down, and he forces the end of the wrecking bar between the horseshoe and his hoof. Okay, that didn't work. Hold on a second. Hold on, somebody said a thing. I gotta do a thing real quick. It's gonna be just a second. Just a second. Just a second here. Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. Alright. Alright, and there we go. Alright. So, where we last left off... Where we last left off, he... Fucking, where was he? He put the wrecking bar between the horseshoe and his hoof. And the end of his wrecking bar goes between his hoof and the horseshoe securely. And he pries as hard as he could to remove the horseshoe, but the horseshoe stays stuck to his hoof, and they will never come off, no matter what he tries. And Teddy takes the wrecking bar out from between his hoof and the horseshoe, and he throws the wrecking bar down on the floor angrily, and it hits the floor with a resounding clang. And Clover looks at Teddy, and Teddy looks at Clover, harshly says, "What are you looking at?" And Clover looks at Teddy depressed and says, "Just leave me alone." And Teddy is so surprised that Clover stood up to him and impressed. And Teddy walks over to her at the table and gets there, and he pauses, and I drink. And Teddy says to Clover nicely, "Can I sit down?" Clover snaps out of her depression because Teddy learned his lesson. The black with those red circle with a line through it horseshoes, by the way, that's not like there's an image of me describing it or anything. It actually says fucking in the story here, the black with those red circles with a line through it horseshoes. That's what it says. Either way, they come off his hoofs and disappear. He is finally free from them, and he is a much better pony now. Clover forgets her plans of suicide because she feels so much better now. And Clover says to Teddy nicely, "You may sit down." And Teddy sits down beside Clover. Teddy says to Clover sincerely, I am so sorry that I bullied you for the last 5 years. Clover accepts his genuine apology, and Lancer and Melody and Bonbon and Space Pony are watching Teddy, and all the hurt that Teddy inflicted on Clover has vanished forever. And Clover tears up her suicide note, and Melody says to Clover curiously, but what about your farewell concert? And Clover says to Melody, it is cancelled! Cancelled! The concert's fucking cancelled, you guys! Right, so Teddy turns to Clover, and he faces Clover, and says to Clover, somebody needs to go tell the Power Ponies that your farewell concert is cancelled. And Clover looks out the door at the sky, and she sees the greenish color of the sky. And Teddy calls on his normal horseshoes, and his normal horseshoes appear in the bottom of his hooves, and they magically stick to the bottoms of his hooves. And Lancer says, I'll go tell the Power Ponies that her farewell concert is cancelled, but the wind is blowing super hard outside. So Lancer hesitates, because he knows that the wind will blow him away if he goes out in it. And Space Pony concernedly says to Lancer, what's wrong, Lancer? And Lancer turns to face Space Pony. Alright, somebody's asking me this in the chat. I'm gonna let them know because obviously they live in some kind of non-shithole where you don't get tornadoes. When the sky's green, there's gonna be a fucking tornado. That's like a real thing. That's actual science. That's an actual fact. This bullshit fanfic didn't make that up. That is real. That's real. Nobody ever believes me when I tell them that when they move here, but it's real. Okay? Sky green, fucking tornado. Anyway. So Lancer hesitates, though, because he knows that the wind is going to fucking blow him away if he goes out in it. And Space Pony, like, concernedly says to Lancer, what's wrong, Lancer? And he turns to Space Pony, okay, we already did that, but whatever. Lancer says to Space Pony, but if I go out there, I'll get blown away by the wind! So, it suddenly becomes dead quiet and still outside. And the stillness unnerved Teddy, because he knows when it gets that quiet at his house, there's gonna be trouble. And Teddy suddenly has a seriously frightening flashback. Teddy's house, later afternoon, 2 years ago. Teddy is being yelled at by his mom for getting bad grades. And Dawn says to Teddy angrily, you are failing school. And Teddy says to Dawn in concern, who cares? And Dawn says angrily, you just wait until your father gets home. And Teddy says to Dawn, I won't be there when he gets home. And Dawn says to him angrily, where do you think you're going? And Teddy says to Dawn, anywhere but here, Mom. And Dawn reaches out and she slaps Teddy very hard across the face, and her hoof left a mark on his face. And Teddy winces in pain, and he snaps back to reality. And Sweetheart is very concerned about Teddy. And Lancer decides to take advantage of the stillness and go to the concert hall, to tell the Power Ponies that Clover's farewell concert is cancelled. But as he was about to leave the ice cream shop, the tornado siren went off. They hear it! Oh my god, you guys, I was right. I called it. It's a tornado. The tornado siren wailed for a few seconds, and then it started talking. And the voice on the tornado siren said, this is a tornado warning. Take cover, immediately. The tornado siren started wailing again. Everyone looks at each other in surprise, and Teddy looks out the door and sees the lightning flashing outside, and Teddy's gonna commit suicide, but he knows exactly how he's gonna do it. Exactly, because we just got suicide out of this fucking story, so it's time to put it back. And Teddy says to Lancer, I'll go tell the Power Ponies that Clover's farewell concert is cancelled. And Lancer's surprised by Teddy volunteering to go tell the Power Ponies And Clover's farewell concert is cancelled all on his own. And so Lancer looks at Teddy's right front hoof, and Lancer sees a royal birthmark on Teddy's right front hoof, like Prince Avalanche's. And the characteristic huge feathered claws and hooves that are from their family, and the hair that completely covers his hooves, but it's not long enough for a step on. He's a gypsy fanner, like Prince Avalanche, except Prince Avalanche is a fucking mountain goat now, because he forgot to edit this part of the story when he changed his fucking pony sonas. Again. And Lancer says to Teddy, surprised, "You're royalty, like Prince Avalanche." And Teddy says to Lancer, "Yes." And we take a brief intermission. Enjoy the tunes, by the way, during the intermission. T-Dash made them, or Typo now, I guess. They're pretty great. Alright, okay, I probably should have turned the volume up on the tunes instead of leaving the background volume. So, whatever. Also, since there's a comment in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and clarify. 2010 is the date the fanfic was finished. This was not actually finished when they first found it, and the main character was actually still a pony. The things have changed a couple of times. Some of the more repetitive parts of this story have actually been edited out since I found it. But now that I've returned and found another drink since I fucking finished my bottle of whiskey, we are going to continue. And Teddy says to Lancer, yes, he is royalty like Prince Avalanche. We have solved that mystery. So we're continuing. And Teddy says to Lancer, continued, I was born to Prince Avalanche's parents, Queen Blizzard and King Majestic, in the Misty Mountains, just like him. And Lancer bows in respect to him. and all of the other ponies are too surprised to say anything about Teddy's true heritage. Teddy is a refined and wild and untamed and renegade mountain boy. And Bon Bon starts crying. And tears are streaming down her face. And Melody turns and faces Bon Bon. And Melody says to Bon Bon, "What's the matter, Bon Bon?" And Bon Bon turns and she faces Melody. And she says, through her tears, "I was born and raised on a farm right down the road from Prince Avalanche's family's farm with my siblings." And then, through the tears, she continues, "My dad got a job in the city, and my siblings and I were forced to leave our beloved farm where we were born and raised." And Melody tries to comfort Bon Bon. All of the ponies are surprised that Melody even cares enough to comfort Bon Bon. Because apparently Melody's a cunt, I guess. Melody says to everyone, she was my next door neighbor when her and her family were living on the farm. And Teddy gallops towards the door of the ice cream shop. He gets there and he hesitates. Teddy can feel Prince Avalanche's magic surrounding him to protect him from the lightning. And Teddy, "My brother must really care about me to use his magic to protect me from the lightning." And Teddy gallops out the door. His cloven hooves grip the ground, and he gallops down the sidewalk towards the mountain. Not the mountain, towards the concert hall. He's a mountain boy, but he's galloping towards the concert hall, okay? Let's clarify. And suddenly, pony feathers start falling from the sky and covering the streets and the fucking sidewalk. And it's like Teddy's galloping through pony feathers. He goes, they stick to the bottoms of his royal hooves, and they accumulate on the bottoms of him, like layer by layer of pony feathers accumulate on the bottoms of his royal hooves. And the pony feathers are coming from Prince Avalanche's farm, you know, from like the ponies that are born and raised on the farm, because they're born with hair and feathers, but then they lose their feathers as they grow. So soon, Teddy has about 10 layers, 10 fucking layers of pony feathers on the bottoms of his hooves. And he pauses, and I drink. And he looks up at the sky, and at the pony feathers falling from the sky. And Teddy is mystified by the rain of pony feathers, and the lightning is flashing around him, and he can sense that he is in danger, and he hears a hissing sound down the road from him, and he turns his head, and he looks behind him, and his eyes widen in fear, because he sees a funnel cloud building down from the clouds, and Teddy knew he better go warn everyone at the concert hall, and the funnel cloud, it touches the ground with a huge roar. It's like, and starlight, and everyone can hear the roar of the tornado. And Teddy turns his head, and he gallops as fast as he could ahead of the approaching tornado. And Flora to everyone's like, "Everyone, get in the storeroom, quick!" And everyone in the ice cream shop gets in the storeroom. So that's a good plan. Storm doesn't have any windows, so, you know, no broken glass or anything. Whatever. Okay, so Bon Bon closes the door, and Teddy is trying his best to stay ahead of the approaching tornado, and the tornado destroys the buildings and levels them. And Teddy ducks as debris flies above his head, and a piece of wood flies towards his left hind leg and just fucking strikes it. Just right there. Just strikes his leg. And a wave of pain sweeps through him. But I lost my spot because I clicked over here to scroll, and it scrolled way too far, like all of a sudden. Hold on. Wave of pain sweeps through him, but he knew he would have to stay ahead of the tornado, or he would risk getting sucked up into the funnel. And his left hind leg started feeling strange, like it was losing all feeling, and it just refused to move. He's completely exposed to the tornado's fury, and his leg is completely paralyzed. and he tries to move his leg, but it won't move at all. And Teddy's like, oh great, now my left hind leg is completely paralyzed. And Teddy continues, I'm completely exposed to the tornado. And in the interior at the Ponyland Concert Hall, we're back here at this scene. Alright. I lost the spot. Alright, interior, Ponyland Concert Hall. Late afternoon, let's get focused. Applejack hears a clip-clop sound coming from down the hall, and she turns to face the sort of noise. And she sees... I need a drink, hold on. Oh, I need a drink! She sees a 6-year-old human pony girl coming down the hall. And she has a brown mane, and a body, and a brown tail. And she has silver hooves over her hands and feet, and she walks upright. And Pony Girl Emmy gets to them, and she stops. And Applejack says to Pony Girl Emmy, hello. And Pony Girl Emmy says to Applejack, hi. And Applejack says to Pony Girl Emmy, I'm Applejack. And Pony Girl Emmy says to Applejack, I'm Pony Girl Emmy. And she talks like Applejack now, cause fucking whatever. And Applejack introduces everyone to Pony Girl Emmy. And Pony Girl Emmy says to Pegasi Gear Max, remember him? Why don't you just wish you were a human pony boy forever? And Pegasi Gear Max wishes he was a complete human pony boy forever. He fucking wishes that shit, boy! I mean, it's like if it's... Okay, someone's asking me in the chat for the stream, alright? Like, a human pony girl is just like Pegasi Pony Gear Max, but a girl! Hooray! Anyway... Pony Gear Max fucking wishes, he just fucking wishes that he was a complete human pony boy forever. And he got his wish. And he can feel the Pegasi gear coming off him. It falls to the floor, and he becomes a complete human pony boy forever. Complete with black hooves on his hands and feet, and black hair, and a black mane and tail. But he walks upright. Alright, he walks upright. And Ponyboy Max turns to Firefly. He faces her. And Ponyboy Max says to Firefly, I'm my own human pony boy now. I'm my own. I'm my own human pony boy now. And Firefly turns, and she faces him, and Firefly says to Ponyboy Max, you are a very handsome pony boy. And Ponyboy Max says to Firefly, thank you. No, don't reference the outcasts. That's not the kind of pony boy they're talking about. They're talking about a completely different kind of pony boy. It's like a bondage thing, okay? It's a bondage thing. Just stop referencing the outcast. That's not what it's about. Alright. So Ponyboy Max says to Firefly, thank you. And Firefly says to Ponyboy Max, you're welcome. Oh fuck, it's outsiders, not outcasts. Why did I say outcast? What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay. Firefly just said you're welcome, alright? Look. Firefly licks Ponyboy Max on the face! And Ponyboy Max, to Firefly's surprise, says, what are you doing? And Firefly is pretty much grooming you! Alright? That's where this is going now. And they turn and they look straight ahead. They look straight ahead! None of them are looking at each other. They're just fucking looking straight ahead, okay? Straight ahead. straight ahead, and Applejack can feel changes happening inside her. Inside her. And she looks to Princess Avalanche very worried, and it's what is happening to me, Dad? And Prince Avalanche says to Applejack, you are becoming a Gypsy Vanner Unipeg, like you were supposed to be born as. And she becomes a full Gypsy Vanner filly, and her height is 23 hands, and she weighs 2,999 pounds, and Applejack looks down at her hooves, and she sees a royal birthmark on her huge right front feathered cloven hoof. And she has huge feathered cloven hooves, and the feathers completely covers her hooves, but it's not long enough for her to step on. Alright, so she can like walk around, and it's cool. She won't step on her own hair and like it'll hurt or pull or trip or whatever. So she can move around in her armor and etc. That's not my etc. That is the story's etc. And her back starts itching because she is growing Pegasi wings. And Ponyboy Max scratches her back with his hooves. And Applejack sighs with relief. And Bowtie says to Applejack, curious, is he her dad? And Applejack turns to Bowtie and says, he is the reason I was born. And then Applejack continues to Bowtie, he is my dad. And all of the ponies bow in respect to Applejack. And Pegasi wings sprout from Applejack's back, and they grow until they are long enough. And they stop growing, because they're long enough. Why would they keep fucking growing if they're already long enough? And she grows a green unicorn horn. And the changes are complete. Applejack is a full Unipeg now. And forever. And she is a full Gypsy Vanner. Okay? Full Gypsy Vanner. For the record, this whole Gypsy Vanner crap that keeps coming up, the guy who wrote this used to have his pony Sona as a Gypsy Vanner before he changed him to a mountain goat. So that's what all the Gypsy Vanner is about. So Applejack's symbol becomes a group of apples with a lightning bolt through the middle of them. And she is a very refined, but also wild and untamed and renegade. But she's also unhurtable and indestructible. So you can't fuck with Applejack now. She is unhurtable and indestructible and wild and untamed and renegade. She's also refined. Okay? So she's just chill. She's refined. So we go to exterior. Ponyland Park. Early afternoon. Who the fuck is even still in Ponyland Park? So we're going back to Ponyland Park. And Teddy can feel his other legs becoming paralyzed. Not even the one that got hit with fucking, tornado debris. Just, he can feel his other legs becoming paralyzed, too. And he collapses on the ground, just completely unable to stand. And Teddy struggles to get to his feet, but he can't move his legs. And Teddy can feel the tornado getting closer to him. And suddenly, he winks out. Just as the tornado's getting near him, he just winks out. And he winks back in at the concert hall. And Teddy says to Prince Avalanche, surprised, huh? How did I do that? And Prince Avalanche nuzzles Teddy. And Prince Avalanche says to Teddy wisely, you have unicorn magic inside you. And Prince Avalanche says to Teddy wisely continued, you also have Pegasi and unicorn blood in you. And Prince Avalanche notices that Teddy is laying on the floor on his stomach. But Teddy looks up at Prince Avalanche, very scared. And Prince Avalanche can see genuine fear in Teddy's eyes that he may not be able to walk ever again. But Ember approaches Teddy, and Ember says to Teddy, maybe if you rest, you can walk. And Ember suddenly groans, but Twilight hears her groan. Oh. And Twilight says to Ember, very concerned, "What's wrong, Ember?" And Ember says to Twilight, I don't know. And a silver star surrounded by fire and flames going down her leg appears on Ember's armored haunches forever. Shit doesn't go away. Forever. And Twilight looks at Ember. She sees the silver star surrounded by fire and flames going down her legs on Ember's armored side. Because remember, all the baby ponies became armored earlier, and like the armor never fucking comes off. So it's on Ember's armor. Ember's armored side. And Twilight says to Ember, "Your symbol has appeared forever." And Ember looks back at her armored haunches, and she sees her symbol, and she smiles. Because her symbol has appeared. And Teddy says to everyone, "Oh yeah, there's a tornado, like, headed this way." And Moondancer says to Teddy, "How close is it to here? What the fuck? And why did you tell us earlier?" You know, like, it doesn't actually say that, but that seems like what somebody would say. But it says, then Teddy says to Moondancer, "It's at Ponyland Park." And Teddy says to Moondancer, like, you know, continue, because he's still talking, "It's approaching." And Moondancer bows in respect to him. I need a drink. And Medley flies toward the door, you know, to see what a tornado looks like. And Windwhistler sees Medley going towards the door. And Windwhistler says to Melody, not Melody, Melody is a completely different character. Windwhistler says to Medley, who is a different character from Melody, "Where are you going?" And Medley pauses. And then she says to Windwhistler, "I want to go see what a tornado looks like." And the concert hall door blows open unexpectedly, startling Melody. And Melody yells in fright. And Thistle Whistle sticks her head in the open concert hall door and looks around. And Sunny Days, to Thistle Whistle, says curiously, "What are you seeing there?" And Thistle Whistle turns to Sunny Days and says, "Doors!" And she whistles. And sorry, people talking and listening in headphones, whatever. And all the Big Brother ponies come into the concert hall, and Buttons sees Slugger. Alright, Buttons sees Slugger. And Buttons runs up to him, and she gets to him, and she stops. And the carpet becomes enchanted. The fucking carpet becomes enchanted right there. And it sticks to everyone's horseshoes unlimited times ultra mega tightly times infinity. That's not me exaggerating because of the alcohol. It literally says everyone's horseshoes unlimited times ultra mega tightly times infinity. And the carpet sticks to Prince Avalanche's cloven hooves. Okay? It sticks to Prince Avalanche's cloven hooves. That's how you know it's serious. Because if you remember from like 2 hours ago when I started this garbage, Prince Avalanche's cloven hooves can't become stuck. But it's still stuck to this fucking carpet. And Tex says, "This carpet's become mighty sticky." And Salty says, "This carpet was a trap for all of us ponies and horses." All ponies just have an Applejack accent now, okay? All of them. And Speedy starts jumping up and down to free her hooves, and her struggles are useless against the carpet's unbreakable grip. And Baby Moondancer lifts her huge feather cloven armored hoof, and the carpet comes up with her huge feather armored hoof and pulls it back down. And all of us can hear the roar of the tornado approaching. And Pretty Beat says to Prince Avalanche, frightenedly, very frightenedly, "We need to get in shelter very quickly." And Teddy says to Prince Avalanche, "Clover's farewell concert is cancelled." And Teddy is very worried about what happened to his legs. By the way, you know, they're just mentioning that. All of a sudden, Teddy's very worried about that. But Buttons nuzzles Slugger. Right? Because those are the two characters we gave a shit about. Buttons and Slugger. But they're nuzzling. And Slugger nuzzles Buttons back. You know, it's not like a one-sided thing. It's mutual. And Slugger attempts to break free from the carpet, but the carpet's too powerful. It's too powerful, you guys. And everyone is helplessly stuck, unable to lift their hoofs without the carpet pulling them back down to it. And Baby Moon Dancer, that character we give a shit about, is quite scared about not being able to wink off. I know I'm always scared when I can't wink off. Baby Moon Dancer thinks hard about how to get off the carpet, but the carpet becomes magic-proof, and everyone can walk on it, but cannot get off it. Baby Moon Dancer struggles as hard as she could, but she is helpless against the unbreakable grip of the carpet. So Baby Cuddles kicks back with her right rear huge front armored hoof, but the carpet just pulls her huge feather armored hoof right back to it, just right back to it. And she is trying to kick it off, but it won't come off. And Baby Cuddles says, "I can't kick the carpet off my horseshoe." I need a drink real quick before we get back to this. So Pony Boy Max tries to kick the carpet off his horseshoe. And the carpet goes out with his hoof and pulls it back to his carpet. And fucking human Pony Boy Max says to Prince Avalanche, "I can't get off." I could stop right there, right? I mean, human Pony Boy Max can't get off. But we're continuing. So Prince Avalanche says to human Pony Boy Max, "None of us can get off. Not even me." And that's bullshit, because you know that Prince Avalanche is getting off to this shit while he wrote it. Anyway, none of us can get off. Not even me. Galaxy tries to use her unicorn magic to make it let go. Galaxy's power, by the way, was to shoot fucking lasers out of her forehead. It has nothing to do with this shit. Anyway, Galaxy tries to use her unicorn magic to make it let go, but the carpet remains stuck to their horseshoes. So all of the G3 ponies come into the concert hall. Fucking Pinkie Pie says, "Hello." And Baby Quaker says to Pinkie Pie, "Greetings, Quack." And Minty sings her sock song. Okay, the sock song, you can look it up if you want. I'm not gonna sing it. I'm gonna read it because it says the whole fucking song here in the fanfic, but I'm not gonna sing it. I'm just gonna read it here, alright? Everybody loves socks. For Rainbow Dash, for Sparkleworks, and, of course, for Pinkie Pie. They can be plain or fancy. They can be short or long. The simple white kind. The glow-by-night kind. With socks, you can't go wrong. I think they're good as candy. A big balloon, or blocks. They always come in handy. And nothing says Christmas like a pair of socks. When winter is turning your nosy a little bit frozy, socks will make you feel awfully cozy. Who doesn't love to wear them? No one at all. That's who, the stripy red kind. The wear-to-bed kind. It's nice to have a few. I know I do. Some folks enjoy new mittens, or a bear that talks, or a picture book of kittens, but nothing says Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas. Nothing says Christmas like a pair of socks. And then she does her silly little Minty laugh, which she had a distinctive laugh in the show, like this was fucking One Piece or some garbage. But it just says she does her silly little Minty laugh, so that's good enough. And Pinkie Pie to Minty says, Minty! 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 It's not Christmas! And Minty is so fucking tired of hearing that. She's like, please stop doing that. I need a drink. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, I finished off my drink. Alright, let's continue. And Pinkie Pie just stares at Minty, too surprised to say anything. And the other pony noticed the socks. The fucking sock song. Okay, the other ponies. The other ponies noticed the sock song. They're too busy trying to get free to reply to her sock song. And Patch and the others are too worried about their town. Because there's a fucking tornado, guys, okay? Remember? There's a fucking tornado that is destroying buildings, okay? We're just talking about fucking socks, but there's a tornado over there. Back to the story. Suddenly, the door blows open. And Rarity says, I'm hungry! And Cherry's Jubilee says to Rarity, we'll eat later. And Rarity's tummy growls, so Strawberry Swirl lifts her hoof off the carpet. But she notices some resistance to her attempt, and Cherry's Jubilee says to Minty, that's a pretty silly song. And Minty laughs her silly little Minty laugh again, and Minty says to Cherry's Jubilee, thanks! Fucking Minty. Minty is the fucking worst. Alright, so back to interior Ponyland Ice Cream Shop. Alright, late afternoon now. It's late afternoon. So we're establishing a time frame. We started late morning. Now it's late afternoon. Clover opens the storeroom door. And she looks out. She sees all of the damage. And the ice cream shop is totally destroyed. And this is the side from the story. Apparently, except the fucking storeroom, which is fine. But the rest of the ice cream shop is destroyed. But anyway, back to the story. Clover pushes the storeroom door all the way open. And everyone can see the damage the tornado did. And all of the ponies come out of their damaged homes. And there's Dave's ponies walking around aimlessly in total shock in the street and on the sidewalks. And Melody recognizes Chase, but he's in too much shock to notice her. Okay, too much fucking shock, just so shocked. And Sweetheart turns to Flora, and she faces Flora. And Sweetheart says to Flora, upset, "What is wrong with everyone?" It's like, okay, aside here, holy shit, how fucked up is Sweetheart? How fucked up is Sweetheart at this point that she doesn't understand what's wrong with everyone? A tornado just destroyed their whole fucking town. And she was like, what's wrong with everyone? Fucking Sweetheart, right? What a cunt. Back to the story. Flora turns to Sweetheart, and she faces her, and she says calmly, Flora's a fucking saint, by the way. Flora says, they are in too much shock because the damage is unbelievable. Unbelievable! So they turn, and they look straight ahead. Straight ahead. So they're not looking at each other, they're just both staring into space, apparently. And Melody says, I'm gonna go see Chase. Remember Chase? Because he hasn't been fucking mentioned yet in this story, and I knocked over my bottle, but it's cool because it's empty. All right, Melody runs out to Chase, and she's leaving her huge hoof prints behind, just fucking huge hoof prints everywhere. And she gets to him, and she stops. And Melody says to Chase, "Greetings." I could stop there, right? But I'm not. So Chase pauses, and Chase says to Melody, dazed, "Hello." And Melody says to Chase, concerned, "Are you okay?" Which is actually a pretty reasonable question. It's like the most reasonable thing that's happened in this whole fucking story so far. Anyway, Melody, not Chelody, Melody says to Chase, concernedly, "Are you okay?" And Chase says, "I don't know." But Bonbon sees her parents and her siblings just wandering down the street in a daze. The whole city's been fucking wrecked, guys. These guys are just dazed. They can't even process what happened. Fuck, I knocked over my bottle again. They cannot even process what happened to the city. And Rusty says to Bonbon, "All I can remember is watching TV. And then waking up across the road an hour later. A fucking hour! Dude got knocked out. That's fucking bad for you." Back to the story. Alright, and Rusty says to Bonbon, "Continued date." So this is still Rusty talking, alright? So we were before I interjected. "I must have hit my head, because I was unconscious for an hour." Jesus, that's bad. Anyway, Rusty rubs his head to clear the fog from it. Because once you're unconscious for an hour, just to rub your head's what you need, you know, it's so good. Anyway, Bonbon says to Misty, concernedly, "Where is Baby Pony?" You guys are fucking ready for Baby Pony's, the Baby Pony arc. Where is Baby Pony? And Misty says to Bonbon, he's still in the damaged house. He's trapped in there. Holy shit! Alright, so Bonbon knew he had to get Baby Pony out of that house before it collapses. And Bonbon hears a familiar, not with a P, with an F, familiar voice. And Spinner is talking to Tate to no one in particular. And all of the ponies are in shock because the damage is so severe. This tornado is fucking apocalyptic, you guys. But nothing is familiar to them anymore because everything that is familiar to them has been destroyed or blown away by the tornado. And Rusty lowers his hoof. Did you remember Rusty raising his hoof? Rusty doesn't remember that shit. Rusty's so fucked up by this tornado, you guys. Anyway, Rusty lowers his hoof, and he looks on his hoof, and he sees blood on it. He sees blood on it from his head. So Bonbon gallops down the road toward her house, and all of the girl and boy ponies are going to check on their families. All of them. But everyone is safe, but Dave... But Bonbon can hear the cries of Baby Pony. And Amber looks all around her, and she sees all the destruction, and she faints. She just fucking faints, guys. She faints dead away from all this destruction. This is... The whole of Ponyland has been fucking destroyed by this tornado that got 2 lines of mention of existing. But it destroyed the whole fucking town off screen. Anyway... Amber faints. So she's laying among the street, amongst all of the bridge. What? There's no fucking bridge in Ponyville. She's laying on the street amongst all of the debris, and she walks down the street carefully. No, she doesn't. She's fucking fainted. Melody walks down the street carefully. But she's walking carefully because there's lots of debris on the streets, apparently, including fucking Amber. Whatever. And Scooter Sprite comes down the road on her scooter. Melody spots her. And Melody steps out in front of her to stop her. Which I think I might have said, but I'm pretty sure I said spots, because at first it said spots her, and then it said stops her, and those are like, they're like the same letters rearranged. So we're not counting that. So Melody stops her after spotting her. And Scooter Sprite says to Melody, "Hello." And Melody says to Scooter Sprite, "Aloha!" And Melody is eyeing her scooter, and Scooter Sprite sees that. Like, Melody's apparently a pretty jealous cunt, given there's this whole fucking devastation of Ponyland via tornado, and she's eyeing that fucking scooter. Anyway, Melody is eyeing her scooter, and Scooter Sprite sees that, and Scooter Sprite nicely says, "Man, that's a nice scooter!" And Scooter Sprite says, "Thank you." And Melody says to Scooter Sprite nicely, "Can I borrow it?" And Scooter Sprite says, "Let me think about it." And Scooter Sprite says, continued. Okay, so she's continuing. It's still Scooter Sprite talking to Melody. She says, "I think you're a little too heavy for my scooter." What a bitch! And Starlight to Rusty. Remember Starlight and Rusty? Those are characters Starlight we've heard about, but Rusty we haven't heard shit about yet. Says uneasily, "I think you need to go to the hospital." I don't know what the fuck happened to Rusty. This came out of nowhere. And Rusty says to Starlight, "I'm okay." As Starlight goes to get some gauze to stop the bleeding from Rusty's head. What the fuck? He's got a head wound? Anyway, Starlight comes back a few seconds later with gauze. And she notices that Rusty is gone. Alright, Rusty fucking left. He just bailed on Starlight, just all together after appearing out of nowhere with a fucking bleeding head wound. And Dazzle says on TV, "This is the worst disaster to hit Ponyland. Not the worst, the worst." This implies that multiple disasters hit Ponyland at once, and this one was the worst of the two, but it's not the worst to have occurred. Anyway, Dazzle continues, "It's like Armageddon," which is apparently, while the worst disaster, not the worst disaster. So, Armageddon is the worst disaster to occur to Ponyland at the moment. Space Pony approaches Starlight, right? Remember Space Pony's the one with like the fucking elemental panther symbol who scatters Stardust or whatever? Stardust. Anyway, Starlight says to Space Pony, "Armageddon is the end of the world!" And Bonbon is headed toward her destroyed house. And Lancer decides to help her rescue Baby Pony. You know, because fucking, why not rescue Baby Pony? Nobody else is doing anything else. Fuck. So Bonbon hears Lancer coming, and I almost knocked my bottle over again. And Lancer says to Bonbon, "Wait up! Wait up, bro! You know, wait up! Don't hurry to rescue that Baby Pony. Wait for me, whatever." And I want to help rescue Baby Pony. He continues. So it's still one line of dialogue. It's just broken up into 4 paragraphs. Whatever. Anyway, Bonbon pauses to let Lancer catch up, because fuck rescuing Baby Pony, might as well wait for Lancer. Alright, so Lancer sniffs the air, and he can smell gas. He can smell gas leaking all around Starlight. Well, that's another fetish. Tick another box, we got a bingo card. And Starlight can smell gas leaking all around also. And Starlight to Miss Hackney. Who the fuck is Miss Hackney? Says, very worried. One spark, and the whole town and everyone in it goes up in a huge fireball. And Starlight shudders at that thought. I mean, that's a pretty shudderable thought, I think. That's understandable. Anyway, the mayor of Ponyland comes on the TV, and the mayor of Ponyland on the TV says, "Evacuate the town immediately!" It's pretty fucking reasonable at this point, apparently, and all of the ponies, but they're still too dazed to think clearly. But Buddy hears a truck coming. The truck belongs to Blizzard and Majestic. Blizzard is driving. dropped my headset. Again, it fell right off my head. So, Blizzard and Majestic have irremovable armor that completely covers them, except their huge, feathered, cloven hooves. And their armor completely covers their wings, except their mountain goat horns. On their extraordinary, way beyond the maximum extreme art head. I didn't leave any words out there. I made sure to read it slowly and carefully. That sentence was complete. That is how it is written. That is not on me. Alright. So, their feathered cloven hooves click as they walk. Very loudly. And the Blizzard and Majestic is an armored gypsy vanner. The truck is huge to accommodate them because they are huge horses. And and the truck arrives at the city limits of the town of Ponyland. So Ponyland is just a town. It's not like the whole country, it's just the city is called Ponyland, okay? So now we have context for that. Ponyland is just the city. So I guess the apocalyptic event is not necessarily what eclipsed the whole country. It's not the worst thing to happen in the country. Not the worst, but the worst thing to happen in the country at the moment. But it's just to this one city. Of the various things to happen to this city, an apocalyptic tornado is only the worst of the events. I'm sorry, not a city. A town. The apocalyptic events to hit this town. The tornado was the worst of the various events. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Majestic and Blizzard is from the Misty Mountains. That's not me being drunk. Majestic and Blizzard is from the Misty Mountains. You can look it up. They encounter a roadblock, and the chief sees them coming. And the chief holds his hoof up to tell them to stop. And Blizzard moves her rear feathered cloven hoof from the accelerator to the brake. And there's an imprint of her rear left huge feathered cloven hoof on the accelerator. Who puts their fucking left hoof on the accelerator? What the fuck? Anyway, she pushes the brake pedal, and she makes a permanent hoof print of her rear left huge feathered cloven hoof on the accelerator. Permanent. Apparently this wasn't there before, so since this whole family leaves permanent hoof prints everywhere they put their fucking feet, she has never hit the brakes before in her entire fucking life. Anyway, permanent imprint of her rear left huge feathered cloven hoof on the brake pedal, and the truck stops. So, the chief lowers his hoof. And with the chief raised his... Okay, he held his hoof up. Alright, that's why the chief lowers his hoof. He's lowering the hoof he raised. Alright, the chief lowers his hoof. He walks to the side of the truck, and Blizzard feels something sticky on the bottom of her right huge feathered cloven hoof, which is a note is not the one she uses to drive because she's a fucking weirdo. And Blizzard takes her front and left huge feathered cloven hoof off the steering wheel, because she drives with her front hoofs while she uses the pedal with her left hoofs, you know, like a person, even though they're a horse. Okay. But also, while we're at it, there's a huge imprint of her huge feathered cloven hoof on the steering wheel. Okay, so she rolls down the truck window, and the chief says to Blizzard, "Hello." And the chief bows in respect to them, you know, because I guess they're fucking royalty or whatever. And Blizzard says to the chief nicely, "Hello." People say hello a lot in this story. I'm noticing that. I've noticed it before, but I'm noticing it again now. They say hello a lot. Fuck, I closed my window. Hold on. Give me Give me just a minute. I'm gonna let the music play. Enjoy it. Fucking close my window again. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a second. Give me a second. Alright, so she lifts her huge flatter. Okay, Blizzard. We're talking about Blizzard. And not because my Overwatch PTR is playable. Blizzard, the pony, who is driving the truck, I think. After the chief bows nicely to her, replies nicely, hello. And then the chief knows that they are the king and queen. But the floor mat pulls on her left rear feathered cloven hoof back down to it. And Majestic says to the chief, we need to get through. Majestic is the other guy in the truck with Blizzard. I'm not actually convinced he's been mentioned yet. But now he's talking to the chief, so just assume that he's there. Majestic says to the chief, we need to get through. Okay, I gotta say goodnight to somebody. They just messaged me to tell me they couldn't take this anymore. Alright, said goodnight. Alright, so Majestic says to the chief, we need to get through. And the chief says to Majestic in an authoritative voice, because even though he recognizes that they are the king and the queen, he is the chief. She's like, the road is completely impassable because of the destruction. And the chief says to Majestic in an authoritative voice, and he continues, because this is still the chief talking. By the way, the chief says there is gas leaking everywhere. And Majestic uses unicorn magic inside him to clear the air, because apparently he can just do that. Whatever. Thanks, Majestic. And the air clears of all that gas. That's what it says. The air clears of all of that gas. And all of the ruptured gas lines and gas tanks magically repair themselves. That's fucking nice, you Majestic. Why don't you just fix the whole fucking town? The emergency is over, and all of the ponies are safe now. Jingling and tingling are okay, guys. Guys, jingling and tingling are okay. Jingling and tingling are okay. Oh, fuck. Thank Christ, those characters that were ever mentioned before that I was so worried about jingling and tingling. Jingling and tingling are both okay, guys. Guys, they're okay. We can rest assured. We can be confident that despite everything else, jingling is okay and tingling is okay. Interior, Ponyland Concert Hall, late afternoon. Now all the G3... Jesus Christ, I am completely out of things to drink. Okay. All of the all of the G3 ponies are stuck to that enchanted carpet. Remember that enchanted carpet that everyone got stuck to before the G3 ponies came in? Apparently the G3 ponies are so fucking retarded that they all ran onto the same magic carpet, okay? So now all of the G3 ponies are stuck to that enchanted carpet with their horseshoes and cloven hooves. For those of the G3 ponies with cloven hooves, which are 0 until this fanfic establishes that it is a non-zero number of them. So Scootaloo is struggling hard, but she can't get free. She's stuck so bad. But the door is still open, and all of us can see outside. But Rainbow Dash sees the tornado coming. And Rainbow Dash says, "It looks like the end for us, darlings. You need to understand, Rainbow Dash in G2 was a completely fucking different character. Rainbow Dash is not what you think of as Rainbow Dash if you think of as G3. She was like a like proper fancy lady. That's why she called everyone darling, because she's like a proper fancy lady, and that's what proper fancy ladies call everyone is darling. So Sparkles and Sugar and Peaches jump off the stage, because apparently while everyone else was stuck to the fucking magic carpet, Sparkles and Sugar and Peaches were still up there fucking around with their magical song horseshoes. Whatever. Anyway, they jump off the stage, and they run to the door of the room where the fucking power ponies are supposed to perform, and they can hear the roar of the approaching tornado, and they're terrified. They're flipping their shit. But the tornado is looming large. Okay, anything with vulgarity you can assume is me, just having drank three quarters of a bottle of wild turkey and a bottle of something else. That's just me. This is actually pretty clean language-wise, so anything that I'm cursing, that's probably just me. Anyway, they're terrified, and the tornado is looming large on the horizon, and all of the ponies and horses think that this is the end for them! That's not me! That's the story! The story says all the ponies think they're gonna fucking die to this tornado! Anyway, all of the ponies and horses in the concert hall tearfully say their goodbyes to one another! Well, to each other! It's the same thing! Anyway, they know they're gonna die in the concert hall! And the tornado dissipates before it reaches the concert hall. Did I say concert hall? I meant concert hall. I meant the word that's actually a word, and not the drunk person word. Concert hall, not concert hall. Oh my god, I am only like 2/3 of the way through this fucking chapter. Okay. Let's enjoy the tunes for a second. Let's enjoy the tunes. I'm gonna turn the volume up so you can enjoy the tunes. Loki. You hear a sound against the microphone, and that's my cat. He is being a friendly boy. Back to the story. Let's turn the volume back down. If I can actually click my mouse. There we go. Alright. Where the fuck were we? This is not where we were. I apparently scrolled down really far. Wait. Hold on, let me find my spot. Okay, no, I'm at the wrong spot. Okay, all the ponies in the concert hall cheerily say goodbye to one another. That's where we were. They know they're going to fucking die in the concert hall, but the tornado dissipates. That's right. Alright, so all the ponies and horses sigh with relief. Let's all share that relief with the ponies. Let's all sigh real heavy right now. What a relief. So Skywish says, I thought all of us were gonna fucking die! Anyway, Kimono says to Skywishes wisely, I have a feeling we aren't out of the woods yet. And suddenly it starts hailing baseball-sized hailstones. All of us can hear the hailstones fucking hitting the roof of the concert hall when it really starts blowing very hard. And the wind peels back the concert hall roof, revealing the funnel cloud above. The wheel just fucking tore the roof off the building in the middle of the tornado. And they can all just fucking look at the funnel cloud right there. They are fucked. So baby North Star looks up and she sees the funnel cloud above all of us. And baby North Star says, "Baby, we in trouble." No, she doesn't say that. That's real people words. She says, "We in trouble," like an idiot. So all the baby ponies look up, and they can see the funnel cloud right above all of us, and they get panicked. And it's like, why the fuck are only the babies panicking? There's a funnel cloud right above you, and you can't go anywhere because you're stuck on a fucking magic carpet. You should all be panicking. Holy shit. Anyway, all the other ponies and horses look up, and they can all see the funnel cloud right above all of us. And all of us can... Okay. They can see the funnel cloud right above all of us. That's not me. That's the words. That's the words of the story. But then I fucked up, and it says, and everyone can see in the inside of the funnel cloud. And Ribbons says to everyone, if the funnel cloud touches down, all of us are dead ponies and horses. And Shady says, it must be my fault. And Paradise says to Shady firmly, this isn't your fault. And Bright Eyes lifts as hard as she can. Apparently she's trying to get swole, even though she's about to get killed by this fucking tornado. She says she can feel the horseshoes coming off her hooves without damaging her hooves. And she's free of the horseshoes. The horseshoes. She's free of the horseshoes. Not the fucking magic carpet, but she's free of the horseshoes. She's free of the horseshoes. And all of the ponies and the horses lift as hard as they can. As hard as they can. And they can feel the horseshoes coming off the bottoms of their hooves without damaging their hooves. And all of them are free of their horseshoes. And the funnel cloud is building down towards all of us. And Snow L. What? This actually says Snow L like Kal-El like Superman, except Snow like Snowperman or something. It says panic. All of us are gonna die. And Truly says Snow. Bossy, stop being so negative. God, it's just me because I assume that's what she would say in that situation. I'm positive all of us are gonna die! And Prince Avalanche waves his armored unicorn horn. Remember Prince Avalanche, the main character with all the fucking magic, super invincible powers? He waves his armored unicorn horn and says, "Tornado, freeze temporarily." And the tornado becomes frozen like ice, and I go pee. Enjoy these tunes, in case you didn't listen the first time. They're by, like, Keydash or Typo or whatever he goes by now. They're by that guy. Enjoy them. They're nice. I enjoy them. Back. Don't worry, I made it. Everything is A-okay. I had a bit of an adventure, but I made it to the bathroom and back. And I got some Dunkaroos. Did you really still have fucking Dunkaroos in Canada? Holy shit, that's so amazing. They're like the most garbage snack, and I just dropped them all on my desk when I tried to open the thing. But they have Dunkaroos still in Canada. I can't find those around here anymore. But when I went to Canada, they had Dunkaroos, so I bought some. Anyway. I think we left off with fucking the wind tearing the roof off the fucking place. Like, the wind just tore the roof off the goddamn concert hall to reveal the funnel cloud of the tornado. Anyway, baby North Star looks up, and she sees the funnel cloud above all of us, and she's like, in a panic voice, like, "We in trouble!" And all of the baby ponies look up, and they can see the funnel cloud right above all of us, and they panic! What the fuck? That's completely reasonable. And all of the other ponies and horses look up, and they can see the funnel cloud right above us, and everyone can see inside the funnel cloud, and Ribbon says to everyone, if the funnel cloud touches down, all of us are dead ponies and horses. No fucking around with this story. They're like real. They're like, that's the consequences. If that funnel touches down, everyone's dead. Anyway, Shady says, it must be my fault. And Paradise is Shady from me. This is not your fault. And Bright Eyes lifts as hard as she can, and she... Wait, did I already do this, or is this just a repeat? I can never fucking remember this story. Anyway, Bright Eyes, she lifts as hard as she can, and she feels the horseshoes coming off her hooves without damaging her hooves, and she's free. She's free of her horseshoes. She's free of her horseshoes, and all of the ponies and horseshoes lift, not horseshoes, all of the ponies and horses lift as hard as they can, and they feel the horseshoes coming off the bottoms of their hooves, which I could swear already happened, but I'm pretty sure I didn't read this part yet. Without damaging their hooves, and all of them are free of their horseshoes. And the funnel cloud is building down towards all of us, and Snoelle says, panicked, all of us are going to die. And Truly says, Bossy, stop being so negative. God. God's not written, I just figured that's what Truly would say. Anyway, Snoelle says, I am positive that all of us are gonna die. Oh wait, no, I did read this part, because this is where Prince Avalanche freezes the fucking tornado. I'm sorry, that already happened. That already happened. Prince Avalanche freezes the tornado, and the tornado freezes temporarily. And the tornado becomes frozen like ice. He says, all of us need to get out of here before the tornado thaws. Before the tornado thaws. Did you ever think you'd hear that shit? All of us need to get out of here before the tornado thaws. You know he said it like that too. What a fucking asshole. Prince Avalanche, you're an asshole. Anyway, all of the unicorns wink out to safety. Like, just, fuck y'all, unicorns out! And all of the Pegasi take the air like, fuck y'all. Holy shit, how long have I been muted? Oh no! What was Oh no! What was the last thing I said? What was the last part of the story? How much do I have to read again? Oh no! I want to die! I want to die! How much did I... Oh no! How much did I just unnecessarily read to my own fucking muted microphone? Guys in the chat, help! Guys, help! Help! There's a delay on the stream. I don't know how much I fucked up. But it's okay. We're waiting on the tornado and thought. Oh shit. Okay, so all of us need to get out of here before the tornado thaws, and all the unicorns wink out to the safety because fuck everyone else. We're unicorns and we can teleport. All the unicorns wink out. All the Pegasi take to the air. All the Pegasi fly to safety because fuck yours, ponies. You can't fly, you pieces of shit. I spit all over my tablet. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Anyway. But then all the Earth ponies just gallop to safety, so it's like fucking unicorns, you're teleporting frickin' Pegasi with your winking. No, Pegasi fly, unicorns wink. Shit. So the Pegasi all winked out, and the fucking Pegasi all... No, the unicorns winked out, and the Pegasi flew out, and the Earth ponies just fucking walked away like there wasn't even a deal. Like, it's not even a deal. It's not even a big deal, guys. Why are you making such a big deal out of this shit? It's not even an issue now. The tornado's frozen. It's frozen, you guys. You can just walk away. Anyway, the Earth ponies... So, Prince... So Prince Avalanche. He's not Prince Universe. He's Prince Avalanche. He's just a unicorn. But he's also a Pegasus and everything else. And a fucking mountain goat. Don't you forget that he's a fucking mountain goat. Prince Unicorn. Prince Avalanche. My headset fell off. Prince Avalanche, the unicorn Pegasus mountain goat, picks up Teddy and puts Teddy on his back. Remember, because Teddy's fucking paralyzed from being in the tornado, I guess? And Prince Avalanche says to Teddy, hold on tight. And Teddy says to Prince Avalanche, my legs are completely paralyzed. It's like, you asshole, how am I supposed to hold on? My legs are paralyzed. I didn't vomit. By the way, I spit a lot, but I didn't vomit. Alright, so Prince Avalanche uses her unicorn magic to hold Teddy on her back. Her. Check them pronouns! Prince Avalanche is a lady now. This is 2016, we can be progressive like that. So Prince Avalanche uses her unicorn magic to hold Teddy on her back. And Prince Avalanche carries Teddy to safely. Because everyone else could just walk away, but Teddy's fucking paralyzed. Fuck you, Teddy! So Teddy's paralyzed, so Teddy has to get carried to safety. So all of the Earth ponies and Pegasi and unicorns are safe now. And Sparkles and Sugar and Peaches are safe also. Okay, thanks for letting me know about those super important characters I gave a shit about. So the tornado thaws and touches the concert hall, completely demolishing it. And Prince Avalanche releases Teddy from his back. Bubbles says, frightened, is the tornado coming this way? But Powder says to Bubbles, it looks like it's going away from us. The tornado dissipates, and that was the last tornado. It's okay, guys. That was the last tornado. There's no more tornadoes. They're done. That was the last one. That was the last tornado. We're done. Alright. I mean, we're only like 2/3 of the way done with the first fucking chapter of this garbage. But that was the last tornado. So, Firefly looks around at all of the damage, and Firefly just stares there with her mouth open. I didn't fuck that up. That is the sentence. You can look it up if you don't believe me. Firefly stare. No, I did fuck it up. Fuck. Firefly stands there with her mouth open. Guys, I don't know if I can read anymore. Guys, I'm worried. Guys, I might have drank too much. Anyway, Teddy says to Prince Avalanche, it will take years to rebuild. And Baby Surprise says, I have idea. And Twilight turns to Baby Surprise. And Twilight says to Baby Surprise, what's your idea? And Baby Surprise says to Twilight, us Baby Gypsy Vanners and Prince Avalanche fix up town. Fix up town. Fix up town. Fix up town. So Fizzy gets so excited about the idea, she starts making bubbles, and bubbles are going everywhere. It's not lewd. It's not lewd. She makes them from her horn. It's not a lewd thing. Get your minds out of the gutter. That's Fizzy's special unicorn talent. She makes bubbles from her horn. From her horn. Not from being horny, from her horn. Stop being bad people. And Surprise says to Fizzy, turn off your buzzle, please. Except she doesn't say that. She actually says, turn off your bubbles, please. So Fizzy turns off her bubbles. Or her buzzle, if that's your game. Whatever. I'm not going to judge. I'm not gonna judge. So Surprise says to Fizzy, thank you, because she knows she turned off her bubbles. And Minty stands on her head just to be Minty. Fucking Minty. Fucking Minty. Anyway, Minty stands on her head just to be Minty. And everyone laughs, and Pinkie Pie says to Minty, Minty. And that pushes Minty too far. And Minty gets off her head, and she's standing upright. And she tackles Pinkie Pie because of that Minty phrase. Holy shit! Minty's pissed, guys! So she pins Minty. She doesn't pin Minty. She pins... Because Minty's the one doing the pinning. Minty pins Pinkie Pie down her back. And Pinkie Pie says to Minty, let me up. And Minty says to Pinkie Pie angrily. That's not me. That's the story. Says angrily. No way. Guys, I overestimated myself. Guys. Guys. You guys. Guys, it's been like... Guys, it's been 3 fucking hours. You guys. No. Guys. I can't. You guys. This has been 3 hours. This is too many hours. Guys. Alright, guys, I'm done. Minty puts Pinky Pie down for the fucking 3 count. Minty is the fucking Minty's the Ponyville Heavyweight Championship Wrestler of the World. Minky Pin Minty will not let Pinkie Pie up. She pins Pinkie Pie down on her back, and Pinkie Pie's like, Minty, let me up. And Minty's like, no way. And Pinkie Pie's like, I'll get you for this. And I'm back to the story now. By the way, this isn't a segue. Pinkie Pie says, I'll get you for this. That's real. That is real. So, Patch protects Minty and says, Pinkie Pie decides the argument isn't worth getting her over, or losing the friendship. Listen to the tunes. Give me a minute. Listen to the tunes. I'm gonna collect myself, and I'm gonna continue. Alright, so when we left our ponies, Minty put Pinky down for the fucking 3 count. It was tombstone pile driver. Just fucking caught her off the top rope, trying to do her elbow drop. Did a pile driver. Put Pinky the fuck down. Put Pinky the fuck down. And Patches had her back. She's like, fucking Minty did what had to be done. Pinky was being a cunt. She got what had coming to her. And Pinky decides that the argument isn't worth getting hurt over. Too fucking late, bitch! You got destroyed! Anyway, Pinky decides her isn't worth getting hurt over. Or losing the friendship between her and Minty. And she says, I'm sorry. I meant to test a Pinkie Pie, apology accepted. And I end this fucking stream and I pass out.